Welcome to Drum and Drummer, a podcast focused on drums, drumming and drummers. I'm George Pickering and that's Ben Winty, and we are both professional drummers in this business we call music. So stick around and join us as we pass the time whilst trying to stay in time.
Oh, he's going to talk about Arctic Monkeys. Yes, I am. So,
Arctic Monkeys klaxon. 100.
Yes.
No, I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. Nah. Sort of came at you, but I fooled you. Yeah. Not going to.
Is this staying in, though?
Yeah, keep that in. Keep that in.
Yeah.
Sort of a little, little dummy. Ooh, he thought he was going to kick the ball, but he didn't. He stepped over it and then let someone else miss.
Americans would say psych after something like that.
Yeah, or PJ Duncan.
I mean? Who are they?
Ant and Dec. Oh, you're young. Do you remember?
I am worried about this Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Okay, it's all right. We'll keep going. Do you remember?
Yeah, we'll keep going.
Ant and Dec's pop
I don't
career?
want to lose any of your good banter, though. Do you know what I mean?
No. Well, QuickTime's capturing it, so. Yeah.
This is it.
Did you remember PJ Duncan? So it was Ant and Dec.
No.
That was their pop alias.
Okay.
And they
When
did a
was
song
this?
called. This was in the 90s. Biker Grove. Remember Biker Grove?
I know of it.
Know of it. They were
know of
actors
it.
in that when they were kids. They went paintballing. One of them got blind. Ant or Dec got blinded. Took his goggles off.
Yeah.
Paintball to the eye.
Oh, yeah.
PJ, I cannot see. Open your eyes, man. Pretty much like that. So it was a lesson for everyone. So all us millennials are very wary when going paintballing in the Newcastle area to keep wearing. Don't take your goggles off. And I went paintballing once, and you really, every time you lift your goggles, you're thinking, PJ and Duncan.
Yeah.
PJ and Duncan. You know, it was a story for the ages. It was a national health warning, really. Safety.
Yeah.
Safety first. But they had a song called Let's Get Ready to Rumble, which I'm sure you've heard.
I've heard that.
Let's get ready to rumble. Let's get ready to rumble. Watch us wreck the mic. Watch us wreck the mic. Watch us wreck the mic. Psych.
Yeah.
But apparently, rumble was spelt differently because the wrestling guy who does the Let's get ready to that is he's trademarked that.
Right.
So you can't use that phrase without giving him a few quid. Yeah.
Wow.
So they changed the spelling, worked their way around it. Little snakes.
What did they change it to? Because how
Just
do you
put an H
spell
in it, I
rumble
think.
differently?
Just put an H in it. R-H-U.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
C-U-M. That's cumin.
I bet that guy was seething, you know? Because that would be his biggest pay check ever, you know?
I don't think so. I think the
No?
every time it's used in a wrestling match
Well, yeah, aside from that.
for 40 years.
Because I don't feel like anyone is using that, you know?
Yeah,
There's no other songs involving the word rumble.
What phrase would we patent? What phrase would we trademark? It was a wedding.
Would it be something?
It's got to be that.
Yeah,
It's gotta
but
be
would
that.
it be something
More
that
than
we
10?
just say a lot? More yeah. But like catchphrases that you and I just have.
Yours would be, well, this is it.
Well, this is it. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Mine
that
would
was
probably be,
popped
do you know
into
what I
my
mean?
head.
Do you know what I mean?
That's a good one. Good
Yeah.
one. Sometimes I listen back to our episodes and I'll say like a lot, and I think it's because I'm worried that I won't get my thing out before you say something. So I say like loads, so you don't get a chance, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll be like, and like I had this gig, so like, and it was just like, and I listen back, I go, take a breath, man, take a breath, you know.
Yeah. Don't be afraid of silence. Don't be afraid.
Well,
although I do cut it out to make the listening experience more
this is it.
pleasurable. Should we crack on? What should we? I've got quite a bit to get through.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Take the reins.
First of all, I don't think I've publicly thanked you for the bread.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
You got me one of your loaves of bread. Expertly bagged. Top job. None of that bread was outside of the bag. That's how good it was.
No. Right. Can I say, so this is a thing, and I won't delve too much into it because it isn't that important. But when I'm slicing bread in my part-time job, there's some, people that slice really quick. They'll be on a 4 on the machine. That is fast. But
Right.
they'll
What's the
lose
top
the
speed?
end crusts. 10.
Whoa.
No one gets to 10. There was a guy. There's rumours that there was a guy that used to do it on a 5, but it's like some mythical guy from the past. But if you do it on a 4, sure, you can whack out those lows quick, but you're losing those crusts, boy. You're losing those crusts, you know?
Yeah.
I do it on a 2.5. I never lose a crust, you know? Because I'm thinking about the customer. So I'm glad you got all your bread in a bag.
I mean, it wasn't sliced, but...
Well, in that case, it would have been very impressive to miss a bit if it wasn't sliced. I was going to say...
It's just half of the bag, like it's wearing a skirt.
Yeah.
George, are you happy with this? Yeah. And you're...
run
you
me
want to
through
send
what you
that
have
out
with
to
your
the customer? Because it is 2002.
Do you know what? We did have a guy the other night who turned up reeking a piss. He looked pale.
Staff member?
He was cold. Yeah, cold
Right.
to the touch, this kid, right? He was 19. And there's no kind way of saying this, but essentially he was on the dole and needed to prove to the dole office that he was looking for work.
Orifice.
So he turned up to these shifts and just fucking not do them. He was barely getting any of that bread in the bag. Do you know what I mean? Slice it. Like, where's it all gone? It's mental. So, yeah, point being.
He somehow put the bag in the bread. He's like that.
Exactly. Question, quick.
Yeah.
First of all, I love that you said I've got lots to talk about, and the first thing is I got you some bread. But what did you do with the bread? I know you had some soup at one point.
Yes. Had some lovely buttered slices with soup. Cream of tomato.
Is that it?
Yeah, there might have been a sandwich in there or something. Maybe a sandwich, but that sort of bread, it was good for the old soup dipping.
It is good for soup dipping.
You know, you go through phases, and we sort of in the winter went through a soup phase. You know, hearty soup for the Sunday lunch time. But
do you? I can't imagine you would, but would your partner ever make soup?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Any
has
go-tos?
Done.
Yeah.
Was it leek and potato?
That's a good one. Yeah.
But
very buttery.
there was some soup in the fridge the other day, and I was like, it's too hot for soup.
Yeah.
Too hot for soup. It's not a soup day. It is not a soup day. Anyway, that's bread.
No.
Let's move on. It's bread heavy already.
Say Christ.
Bread heavy already.
Yeah.
Right. Do you want to talk about some drum stuff?
I mean, it would help.
It would help. Well, let's go in, because I don't know if you've seen, but Zildjian released a new line of ride cymbals.
Oh, cool.
Called the Keropes. Keropes.
How are they spelling that?
Kerope. Kerope.
Nice.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing that caught my attention was it's just ride cymbals. That's it. Just ride. Yeah?
That's interesting.
So it's a K Kerope. It's just ride. And they got 4 rides. So 2 rides in 2 different sizes.
Right.
Ergo 4 rides. The first thing that caught my eye was the price.
Okay.
Because if you want the 22-inch medium thin high ride, what are you thinking? What's your max you'd pay for a ride cymbal? What are you thinking?
Good question.
That's top
I
budget.
think
That is top budget.
My ballpark ride cymbal number, and I don't know why, but it is £350.
I was thinking that.
I think that's about like, I think if it's any more, if it's 400, I'll be like, is it really worth it? And if it's 200, I'll be like, fucking hell, is this actually good, you know? But I think 350. But if it was amazing and I sat down, because sometimes you have to really think, when you're at G Russ, you know, that day we were in, and we're trying 4 different rides and going, I don't know, because that one's good, but that one's good. But if you sat down and went, yes, there you go, that's the one. 500, but probably not more than 500. There's an answer to your question.
Yeah, no, I think
What's
that's
this?
a pretty fair assumption. Similar. I think, you're looking 300 to 400 for like a new cymbal that's going to change your life, you know. And maybe you're pushing 5 if it's like even like hi-hats, like 15-inch hi-hats. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, George. It's a lot of money. Well, as I said, if you want the Zildjian Kerope 22-inch medium thin high ride, that would set you back £1,199.
Yeah.
You can get the 20-inch version for £1,000. So, and I'm wondering whether...
What was the first one? What was the bigger one then?
So it's 1200.
Was that like 22-inch? No.
22-inch, yeah.
Cool.
22-inch. That's 1200. The 20 is £1,000. And they've got another one. It's the medium-low ride. Same prices for the 22-inch. It's £1,200. So it's quite a lot of money. Now, do you know the sort of like classic tale of pizza sizes?
I was just thinking this.
So it's like you might think you get more buying 2 12-inch pizzas than one 16-inch, but because of surface area,
I got distracted and I had that in my head. Yeah,
you actually get more pizza in the 16-inch than you do in 2 medium inches. Circles. I'm throwing out words here like radius, circumference, diameter. All school.
All good words.
All that sort of stuff. So I'm wondering if you someone with maths skills at math, work out how much more metal you're getting in the 22-inch.
Yeah.
And proportionately is an extra £200. Like, are you getting nearly like double the cymbal? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it actually would surprise you how much more cymbal it is, even still. But I kind of thought to myself, right, Kerope, what are these? What's going on? What is going on with these?
Yeah.
And basically, again, very little research, quick Google, believing everything I read. So actually, Kerope was one of the Zildjian guys back in the day.
They got more. Yeah, it was a lost cousin or something.
Well, it was. So I'm just looking. So, Haratun Zildjian passed the business on to his son Avidus II. Right. He died in 1865, and his sons were too young to become heirs to the Zildjian secrets and the Zildjian company. So his brother Kerope II took over the company, and he introduced a line of instruments called the K Zildjian. So all Ks are named after Kerope II.
Oh shit, that's interesting.
And he died in 1909 in Constantinople. Hence, you've got the K Constantinoples.
Wow.
So he was a Zildjian. All Ks are named after Kerope. So they are a long thing.
Wow.
But these particular reissues of the Kerope cymbals that Zildjian have just brought out, so they're sort of like, it seems to be they're quite for jazz. They're very jazzy rides. And they're sort of like a vintage reimagining of a vintage K that was synonymous with jazz in the sort of 20s, 30s, 40s. That kind of quite washy cymbals. So they're sort of that kind of thing. And there's lots of videos from Zildjian, with videos of people playing them and stuff. But that's basically that. So
wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
That's where K comes from.
And there was a video of I think her name was, I can't remember her first name, but maybe it was Can I Tell Me Your Name? Because I just watched a video. Tell me your name.
What's up, John?
That was it. Craigie Zildjian is doing this.
And that's a girl's name?
It is a girl's name, yeah. She's in this little video about the new Kerope cymbals. The video is titled A Legend Reborn. And Kerope was something like her great uncle or something like that. It's pretty cool, isn't it? That it's like,
yeah, it is.
This, and her surname's Zildjian. I mean,
yeah,
it's cool, isn't it? I think that's a name to marry into, isn't it? Just for
absolutely.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
If I met one of the dynasty of the Zildjian family, and was gonna marry her, I'd change my name.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Ben Zildjian.
Yeah.
Attorney at law. Now, drummer.
Yeah.
But that's pretty cool. So if you've got a few
very cool
£1,000, you can go and get yourself.
Are they limited edition then?
I don't know. I mean, it looks like. I mean, looks like they've sold out. I don't know if they're even in stock yet, though. Over here,
Yeah.
You know, might take a bit of time. But
G. Russ
I think
will get them all.
Craigie, I'll have them all. Send them all over to the Rat King. That is a term of endearment. We're using that as a term of endearment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, do you want to hear about my gig?
Yes, please. The Wonder Year one.
Yeah, so I had a Wonder Year gig.
Right, the fact that you letting me know about it means something good or something bad happened. Because usually you just go, I had some gigs, they were fine. The end.
Yeah, I think I was thinking about how do I get this across. Yeah,
right.
City. And I think 4 words sums it up pretty well. Entitled Bunch of Cunts.
I mean, they are your band. I wouldn't be that rude about
them. Good. So this was a gig, what I described in my email to the rest of the band as it's a bit faffy. Faffy. So it was in a marquee in Surrey. Yeah, Surrey.
Oh, sorry. Say no more.
Yeah, so Surrey. It was so Surrey. They'd paid extra for us to get there early, to get there at 1:30, so we could be set up and soundchecked by 3, because they wanted to use a wireless mic for speeches through our PA. They also wanted us to put some music on while the bride and groom walked into dinner. So we got there early. Things didn't start so well with Elliot, bless him. We all were at the studio, meet at 12, on the road at 12:30, get there for 1:30. It's getting to 12:30. He's not here. He's normally a bit late. It's crunch time now. We've loaded the cars. We have to leave because we have to be set up by 3, because that's when they're starting the dinner. Give him a ring. Doesn't answer. Send him a text. Give him a ring. Doesn't answer. Then he answers, "Hey guys, all right? Yeah, where are you? What do you mean, where am I? I'm at home." Cool. We'll see you at the gig, because it was meet at 12, leave at 12. Oh, shit. So.
Oh, no.
Bless him. So that was, a learning moment for certain members of the band. And then I start thinking, did I not communicate that properly? Did I miss something out? Like, we didn't send a text on the day of just reminding me, look through what I sent. Definitely says meet at 12. On the road at 12:30, load in at 1:30. Anyway, that aside, we went with the gig. Shit loading. Had to bit of a fiddly bit to get to go around the back and then walk it quite a way into Marquee. Anyway, big wedding, about 200 people. It was a lovely sunny day. Fucking hell, they were drinking.
Really?
They were drinking, yeah. But I had to stop mid-song. I had to stop the band mid-song and be like, hang on. Because they'd borrowed a singer's wireless mic for speeches, and it was just sort of left on the sub. And in hindsight, yes, we should have put it away. But we started playing quite early because they had a separate DJ setting up.
Yeah.
And who was using RPA. And just constantly, you know what it's like. They just put drinks on the stage, drinks on the sub, all that sort of stuff. And then at one point, this group of girls picked up the wireless mic and were like shoving it in their mouth, rolling on the floor, simulating putting up their fucking arse. And Neil's like by the side of the stage, and he sort of stops to be like, "Can we have the mic back?" and they're not giving it. I just stopped playing. Stand up. And then we are like, we're not playing until we get that back. Yeah. And then this particular one person just stole Elliot's water bottle while we're not playing, tries to turn the mic round, get on the microphone. Loads of drinks go on the DJ's table. Someone spills a drink, breaks her decks.
Wow.
Like, gets to the point later in the night, she's like, I can't line up songs on my digital thing.
Oh my God.
And she's like, she was a friend of one of the ushers. She was the sister of one of the ushers. And she to us was like, I've got gigs this week, and it doesn't work. That's like a $2,000 bit of kit. It's like,
fucking hell.
Better invoice there. So we had to put the iPad on for the last half an hour. But just like, come on, people, you're grown adults. This is fucking...
Yeah.
But my best bit, and so I do play in this band with my future wife. And this particular one person, was being such a dick and tried to like reach over and play her keyboard.
Oh, God, yeah.
And I was so proud of her in this moment where I thought, yeah, that's who I'm going to marry. She batted her hand away and went, fuck off. Straight to her face. I was like, there we go. But I'm mental, innit? I had to stop playing. Be like, we're not playing until this.
Yeah.
And it was only like 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like, fucking hell.
Posh, entitled, fucking middle class, fucking posho cunts are the worst people at these weddings because they've never been told no. They've been brought up in Surrey or fucking Kent or Dover, and then they just never. Yeah. No one's ever said sorry. Can you not do that? And then why is it a function band has to be the first person to ever say to these fucking boys called Eddie, or whatever? Your name's Edward. Get over yourself. And just like I don't know. It's so annoying. I had it at Mayfair once at this gig, and this woman was trying to get on the mic, and I was like, "No, you can't." And she looked at me. She wasn't like, "Oh, okay." It was like I was the first person to ever say, "Sorry, no, you can't do that."
But they're not going around to the kitchen and trying to turn the taps on and turn the hob on, are they?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why are you coming for our shit?
Yeah. Well, you're not.
And I said to the rest of the band, I was like, "I will. Anytime that I will stop playing, I'll just stop playing. I don't care."
Yeah.
But fucking
quite right.
So it was a kind of, other than that, it was pretty easy. Do you know what I mean? It was
yeah.
The bride was really nice, like, but we were like waiting and being quite polite because we were going to be fed, and normally we get fed after everyone else has been fed. And it got to the point where she wanted to hurry up proceedings and get us on because it was running late, of course. And we've had it in the past. You go to the kitchen and they're fucking stressed, and you'll be like, "Can we have our food?" And they're like, "Fuck off."
Yeah.
The caterers were really nice, but the bride came and chatted to us, and we were like, she's like, "Oh, we're going to try and move things on a bit, get the party started earlier." I was like, "Yeah, cool." And I said, just one thing, like, we've not had any food yet. Is that okay to get that sorted? She was like, "Oh my God, yeah. Go around, see the caterers, send one of the ushers around with you." And so we went and got food, and then we're sat behind the marquee eating, and we just started talking, and then this bridesmaid just comes over, and she's like, "Bride's wondering when you're going to be ready." And I'm like, "Well, we just got to eat our..." The bride had literally said, "Eat your dinner and then have 15 minutes and then you can go on."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Well, we'll just eat our food and then we'll be ready." "Yeah, but when? Like 15 minutes, 10 minutes?" "Well, just going to eat our dinner. Just going to eat our fucking dinner." "Yeah, who are you? Fuck off." Anyway, I've expelled enough mental energy on that bunch of cunts. So, but while we were waiting around, because we had to wait around fucking ages, we were having a conversation about drummers and drums. It was like a podcast without you. It was like a live forum. Yeah.
Probably better. Yeah.
But the conversation came up. We were talking about drummers who are either A, not very good, but their band is, or B,
Black Keys,
drummers who we don't know how good they are because the type of music they play doesn't need to demonstrate chops.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we were talking about, for B, number one, Coldplay.
Yeah.
How good is Will Champion? And this is it's different because it depends how you define good.
Yeah.
He does the right things for the songs. Obviously there's producers involved and whatever and songwriters, but like he does the right things for the songs. But there's nothing, those songs aren't about drums.
No.
But there's nothing in there to go, I don't know if he's any good.
He's
either at the limit, he could be at the limit of his ability, so just play something simple, Will. Stop digging out in Game of Thrones, or he could be brilliant and just go, well, all I need to do is this 4/4 beat because Chris Martin's doing, another song about stars and
he's
space.
On with Jacob Collier again. Stop getting Jacob Collier on. He's not in the band. So I'll give you a perfect example for this. He's going to talk about Arctic Monkeys. Yes, I am. So
Arctic Monkeys klaxon.
There you go. So Matt Helders from the Arctic Monkeys, who one day hopefully will be on the pod, he first Arctic Monkeys albums were very frantic, you know, and it was almost, you know, that teenage angst.
Lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, exactly. And he said that, you know, as he's got older as a drummer, he sort of started to practice more and started to really delve into stuff. And I remember seeing in an interview once, he was saying, like, he's learned all these cool chops and things, but now the music that they're doing, it doesn't need that, you know? 4 stars out of 5 from their, not last album, but the one before, that was just kick and snare, baby. And he was sort of saying, he was like, there's so much more I can do. And he was like, I want to show people, like, hey, I can do more than, I bet you look good on the dance floor now. But now he's at that point, it's actually, the music is like, no, there's like 8 people in the band now.
It's a song about a hotel in space. That
yeah,
sort of
exactly.
Just,
yeah, you don't need chops over that. You know, just keep.
You need
Alex.
a Kerope. You need a Kerope for that.
You do need a Kerope.
Lounge.
Yeah.
Lounge.
Yeah.
And he could buy
music.
one. He could buy one.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
So that's an example of it. What was the first one you said again?
Well,
what was
Neil,
the first example?
Drummers who are better than the band. And
Well,
that's not necessarily better than the band, but drummers who maybe are underrated, who are like, or drummers who are, I don't know, like Danny Carey from Tool came up. Like, he's just so good.
Yeah.
You couldn't do it with anyone else. Do you know what I mean? That sort of thing. Or even like the Killers. Like, he's actually, you know, he's a very good drummer. And there are, even in their sort of songs, there's good drum stuff. You know.
Oh my God, yeah.
But then we were talking about, what's his name? Dom from Muse.
Yeah.
Like Neil was saying, like, I don't know if he ever does anything really good.
No.
In Muse stuff.
It's always solid.
It's always solid. But maybe he doesn't need to, because old Bellamy's gone mental with chromatic notes.
Yeah, and
you
the
know
bass
what I mean?
player's quite mad, yeah.
Yeah. So like, he doesn't need to. So he's like, I'll just be solid.
Yeah.
But is that's all he can do?
Yeah.
But you do get, I guess it's that thing of like, we also talk about Linkin Park, where like the drums are so produced and there's a lot of programming. So like, was their original drummer like not very good? Because there's not even moments of like, because if I think as a drummer, if you've got some skill, even if you're playing something simple, there'll still be a little bit you'll put in. There's got to be something you'll put in that will, you know, demonstrate a bit of ability or something. And if it's good, it will get left in. But to have nothing of that.
But could you argue that it takes an even better drummer to go, I know I can do it, and I'm not going to put my ego in, and I'm going to, like Dave Grohl in Nirvana, you know what I mean? Like, I remember I read his book, and he said that he was in the band Scream, and the bass player was like, just play a beat, and you're not allowed to do any fills, and we're going to jam. And then it just kind of locked in, and he kept trying to do a fill, and the bass player would be like, nope, we'll go again, you know, and for 10 minutes, just play the beat. And then that's how he learned how to do that stuff in Nirvana. And it's like, I remember him saying, what's the simplest I can do? But he could probably have done, you know, some mad stuff to be like, hey, check this out. I can do some triplet stuff.
But I think even like, you know, but even if you take Smells Like Teen Spirit, like the fill at the beginning, whilst it's not like mental, you can't do that day one of learning drums. You know what I mean? Like it's got something about it. And I think it's even that sort of thing. And it's just, you're right. Well, it could be that a producer or a songwriter or whoever has just gone, no frills, no shit, just fucking play the beat. And the drummers were like, yeah, fine, I don't care. I'll do what I do. So it's that, I don't know, it's that kind of, it's a weird thing where drummers sit in a band. Whereas like Blink, well, Mark and Tom are the weak links.
Oh my God, yeah.
So Travis can go mental and do all this stuff, but he is also clearly good enough to do it. But some bands you don't sort of have that, so it's you know, I had to play at this cunt of a wedding. It was a special request. We did Dance the Night Away by the Mavericks, and the drums just literally play a straight beat the whole way through, apart from a fill at the beginning. There's nothing, and you're like, if you're drumming on that, wouldn't you do something to just give a little bit of like a little cheeky offbeat cymbal there, or change it a little bit.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's not about the drum. But it was just an interesting conversation. So, listeners to this show, get in touch. Let us know. Email us at drumanddrummerpod@gmail.com, or get on the Instagram. Slide right into the DMs. Any bands or drummers where you feel they are underappreciated or shit and we don't know where you know,
or shit and we do know,
that's true. Because I was also thinking of like Sum 41, Frank Zumo, underrated until I had to learn Sum 41 stuff for freshman year. I learned it. I was like, fucking hell, this is not easy.
The Paramore drummer as well.
Paramore drummer,
they're so clever, you know. Like, you think about those songs on that. What's the album with Misery Business?
Yeah, right.
But each track is like it's you know, it's like if he just played a straight 4-beat through the songs, that wouldn't be the same album, you know.
Yeah.
It's
and obviously, you know, it's genre dependent, but like, a lot of that stuff, you know, I've had to learn. But then even actually, like my beloved Fall Out Boy, I watched the Drumeo video of Andy Hurley playing through, I think it was Thanks for the Memories, and just watching him play, and I was like, there was something slightly unnatural about his playing. I was a bit like, oh, I don't think you're as good as I thought you were. But your drums on the records and the parts you do are great. But Fall Out Boy is about the amazing singer and the lyrics of the bassist. And obviously they've gone a little bit more electronic as they've progressed through their career. He's obviously a solid drummer, but it wasn't like really like clean and tight. There was something about the look of him playing that felt a bit unnatural. But
I mean, I love the Black Keys, but the drummer isn't good, you know? Like, that's just a fact, I think. You watch him even in interviews, and he was saying, I don't know if you know that song Howling for You, but it's got this kind of like kind of like a shuffly thing on the low tom. And he has the low tom on his left, so like he plays it, you know, brings his right hand over. And I was like, you know, I always thought that was some cool arty thing, you know, rather than playing it where the low tom is. But he was like, no, I physically just can't play essentially the I Kissed a Girl beat with my floor tom there. So I had to put one there. And I was like, fucking hell. He's like, you know, like a stadium band. And he was like, I just can't do it. Just can't do that. So I have to put a tom there. And you watch videos of him and you're like, is this shit? Like the timing, it speeds up so much and slows down, and it's all over the shop. But they're a massive band, so
that's it.
You know,
I mean, obviously, you know, Lars came up. And like how he was good, but now it just seems like it's awful.
Yeah, but this is the thing. If the band sounds good though, because I haven't seen the Black Keys, but I'm sure when you go and see them, because they've been doing it for years, they do sound good. And everyone I know that's been to see Metallica, I think even Neil said it. He said they just were amazing because they've just played. If you see them at a festival, they're the best band because they're the only band that's been playing outdoors every year for 40 years, you know. So they've just nailed that sound. So even though Lars is just doing kick and snare, you know, it's like they still sound great.
I saw something on Reddit about Lars, and it was like they were talking about him sort of, you know, he used to be great and he's just tired or lazy or whatever, and someone's like, I went to see them and I was really excited for this track because I had this particular like drum intro, and he was like, it was on track, he didn't even play it, and he was like, played us anyway, so is it interesting topic, I think.
Very interesting
and you could probably, you know, Meg White might be up there in the apex of shit drummers who've done well, but could you do your grade 4 and do a Coldplay concert? Do you know what I mean? Could you do that and get away with it? Or,
well, it's a funny one though, isn't it? Because I remember a mate of mine, a big Oasis fan, he was watching Liam Gallagher's new thing, and weird specific story, but I remember him watching going, the stuff the guitarist is playing, like, I could do that. It's easy. I'm like, well, I'm sure you could, but there's a lot more to it. You know what I mean? It's he is playing Reading Festival in front of 80,000 people. Like, you know, you're in your room. You know, you might be playing the same chords, but a lot of people can play the same chords. So, I don't know.
A lot of people can play the C chord.
Yeah.
But can you write?
Well,
Don't Look Back in Anger.
Exactly.
Well, I think even Neil said, the Oasis got rid of their first drummer.
Yeah.
And apparently, Noel said, because I've got Wonderwall and Don't Look Back in Anger in the locker, and he's not going to be able to do it. So get rid of him. Need someone else.
Well, who was that guy we had on who played for Iggy Pop? Matt Hector.
Yeah.
Him talking about the kind of when you get higher up as a drummer in terms of ability, and the fractions between what's good and what's great is so small, but is noticeable. So there's probably a lot of drummers that could do the Coldplay gig, but then only a few that could really nail it. I mean, even Zach
because
Starkey
technically
said,
you could play those simple beats in Yellow.
Yeah.
But you still have to have the musicianship to know when to do the beat and what to do.
Yeah.
And the experience.
I know Zach Starkey, who played for Oasis for a bit, who now sort of plays for The Who. Don't know if he's been kicked out. Who knows what's going on?
Oh, yeah,
there
was a little bit of kerfuffle.
Yeah, but he said when he got the Oasis gig, all his drummer mates were like, "Oh, I could do that easy, no problem." And he said, "No, actually, it's really hard because apparently Noel and Liam are on it with tempo. If you're out by a BPM, they'll know." So he said it's actually really hard gig to do because you do think Supersonic, I can play that. And he was like, "No, if you got the Gallagher brothers, beating down on you, So yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, well, let's finish up.
I'll say one more thing.
Go on, please.
Last episode, I was talking about Bandy Oki.
Yes.
Maybe the one before. I got a message. I won't name drop him, but from a listener, and he said, "Hey man, I was listening to you talk about Bandy Oki. Do you fancy a Bandy Oki gig in London in June?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." So point being, if I talk about gigs I've done on here or want to do, there might be someone listening. So anyone got Wembley? Yeah.
Let's
manifest it.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Bag is packed. So let me know.
Have Oasis announced who's drumming for them? Don't know.
They have very subtly. They have, and it's someone who's never played.
It's not
Oasis
me, is
before. It's not you. It's not me.
No, I didn't think so.
No,
could have been in the spam folder.
Can you imagine that? And then we do it says Oasis guest, and everyone's like, "Who is it?" And it's just us. We share the gig. No, it's someone who no one seems to know of. I mean, in the music world.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's not important. But so let me know. I'm up for Bandy Oki gigs or Wembley Stadium.
No in between. Yeah.
No in between. Absolutely not.
No. Bandy Oki in a pub. Wembley. That's there's no sliding scale. It's a big,
no.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
Right, we'll finish off. I've only got a few more days of being in my 30s.
Oh shit, yeah. May the 18th, is it?
That's right. Sunday, baby.
I remember.
Sunday, and I will start the celebrations with a long drive home from Peterborough as I have a gig Saturday night. So it's going to be the Ben Winty 40th birthday party bus home, or me in the crew van driving the Sleepy Wonder Year gang home.
Yep.
So
raw dog in it.
Raw dog in that. Though that A1.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. Oh, and also just to finish up, public service announcement for all those who are self-employed. Do your tax return now.
Oh yeah.
Do it now. Do it now.
It's mental, isn't it? Every year, Jan the 30th, people are like, "Oh God, why did I leave it so late?"
You could do it now.
Why
you could do it now.
Why? Yeah.
Do it now. Find out how much you owe.
No one says you have to start on the 29th of Jan.
Yeah. Find out how much you owe, and then you know how much to pay. I've done mine. Accountants have done it. I know exactly what I've got to pay by the end of January. Yeah. Perfectamundo. Do it now. Also, because it's all still fresh in your head. Because by the time you get to January, you've almost done a whole another tax year.
I know. Well, this is it. That's what throws me off when people are like,
this is it.
I've got to do my tax return.
TM.
Yeah, and I always check, have I forgot mine? Did I forget to do it? I'm like, no, I did it 9 months ago, Yeah. The time you could fucking conceive a baby and have the baby, you could do your tax return.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, if that can happen.
Yeah,
if you fill out some mileage. Broccoli. Easy.
Your face was so red.
We'll leave it there, but get in touch. How much would you pay for a ride cymbal? What's the most you've ever paid for a cymbal? What's the least you've ever paid for a cymbal that you really like? Drummers you think are great in a shit band, drummers you think are shit in a great band, that kind of thing. Let us know. George, thank you very much for your time. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Drum and Drummer. You can find us on Instagram at Drum and Drummer Podcast. And you can send us an email to drumanddrummerpod@gmail.com. Remember, just pick up the sticks and twat it.